I'm gonna save those people.
I wanna go home. I don't wanna... I wanna go home!
Yuta Okkotsu pulls up to the Sendai Colony, and already, this place is looking like the Culling Games premium subscription package for violence. Tokyo #1 Colony was already crazy, but Sendai? Sendai was basically what happens when you put 4 overpowered weirdos in the same lobby and nobody wants to log off. By the 12th day of the Culling Game, the colony had reached a full-on deadlock. Nobody could really move because everybody was too dangerous. It was like a 4-way staring contest where the loser gets folded into a pack of Skittles. The main players holding the colony hostage were Druv, Takako, Uro, Ryu Ishigori, and Kurourushi, and each one of them was a problem. Druv was one of those ancient sorcerers with a whole mysterious history behind him. Uro was floating around with her sky manipulation technique, looking like somebody who definitely has unresolved workplace trauma from 1,000 years ago.
Get the trauma kit! Trauma kit!
Ryu was posted up with the highest cursed energy output in the game, just waiting for somebody to give him the fight of his life.
It's an unfair game.
And then there was Kurourushi, a cockroach cursed spirit. A cockroach. Not even a cool dragon, not a wolf, not a demon with a tragic backstory, a roach. Jujutsu Kaisen really said, you know what will be terrifying? The thing people already scream at in their kitchens, but now it has cursed energy. So the colony is stuck. Nobody can make a move without somebody else taking advantage. It's a battle royale, but everybody is camping. Then Yuta arrives and immediately ruins the balance. Yuta comes into Sendai as part of the plan to fight back against the Culling Game. And by the time we catch up with him, he already has 35 points, which means he has not just been surviving, he has been putting people in the dirt and collecting points like he's doing daily missions. Bro came fresh out of solo leveling. Then he runs into Druv and handles him almost immediately. No long dramatic speech, no 10-episode back and forth. Yuta just cuts him down and keeps it pushing. And that one move changes everything, because Druv was one of the main reasons Kurourushi was staying dormant. With Druv gone, the roach curse wakes up hungry, angry, and disgusting. Basically, the worst possible combination. Kurourushi starts feeding, and a swarm of cockroaches goes after civilians that Yuta is protecting. Now, this is where Yuta shows why he is different. I'm built different. A lot of sorcerers in the Culling Game are fighting for themselves. They want points, they want survival, they want smoke. Yuta, meanwhile, is fighting while also babysitting civilians in the middle of a supernatural death tournament. This man is trying to save people while everyone else is treating Sendai like ranked competitive mode. Kurourushi targets Yuta, and Yuta knows he's being watched by Uro and Ryu. So instead of immediately showing all his cards, he tries to fight without using Rika or reverse curse technique. He pulls out the katana and starts boxing this cursed roach with straight cursed energy control. And at first, Yuta is doing pretty well. He's calm, composed, and efficient. But Kurourushi is not some random pest you can hit with a slipper. This thing is strong. Eventually, the fight starts turning against Yuta, and he gets pushed into a corner. So, Yuta finally uses reverse cursed energy, and the second he does, Kurourushi is finished. But this is also the moment Uro realizes something important. Yuta can use reverse curse technique, and in Jujutsu Kaisen, that is not a casual ability. That is not, oh, he knows a cool trick. That is, okay, this guy is a serious problem, and I need to treat him like one. So, with Kurourushi out of the way, Uro makes her move. Uro attacks Yuta with one of the strangest techniques in the series. She can manipulate the sky like it's a physical surface. She basically grabs the air, bends space, and uses the sky itself like a weapon. This is the kind of power that sounds fake until you see it, and then you're like, yeah, okay, I would have just stayed home.
I want to go home.
But Yuta does not just swing first and ask questions never. He actually tries talking to Uro. He asks why she is killing so desperately for her own gain. He wants to understand what is driving her.
I want to learn
learn everything about you.
And Uro does not appreciate that at all. Because she is not just fighting for fun, she is baggage, ancient baggage. Like the kind of baggage that should have been checked at the airport 1,000 years ago. She starts projecting her anger toward Yuta because of his connection to powerful ancestors and old grudges from her past life. Yuta is basically standing there like, ma'am, I just got here. But before the conversation can go anywhere, Ryu Ishigori inserts himself into the fight with Granite Blast. And let me tell you, Ryu is not subtle. Some fighters enter the battlefield quietly. Ryu enters by launching a giant curse energy beam like he's auditioning for Dragon Ball Z. Yuta quickly realizes that Ryu's range is a major problem. If Ryu keeps firing off blasts, the civilians nearby could get caught in the chaos. So Yuta decides he needs to close the distance and force Ryu into close combat. Ryu, however, is not just some brute who likes shooting lasers. He is a sorcerer from the past who lived his life without ever feeling truly satisfied. He compares the perfect fight to dessert. Not dinner, dessert. Because apparently this man's whole philosophy is, life was fine, but where was my cake? He wants a battle that finally gives him that feeling he has been craving for 400 years. And when he sees Yuta, he thinks, maybe this is the one. Maybe Yuta can finally give him the full course meal. So Yuta and Ryu clash. And this is where we see the difference between having a massive amount of curse energy and having insane curse energy output. Yuta has a ridiculous amount of curse energy. The man is basically a walking battery with trauma. But Ryu's output is higher, meaning when he fires harder. So even though Yuta is strong, Ryu starts overpowering him. Then Uro jumps back in because apparently nobody in Sendai believes on one-on-one fights. She attacks Yuta too, which annoys Ryu because he wanted his clean dessert plate, and now Uro is putting her fork in his food. The fight becomes pure chaos. Uro redirects attacks, Ryu fires more blasts, Yuta keeps adapting, but eventually, Yuta realizes he cannot keep holding back. He wanted to move the battle further away from the civilians first, but the situation is getting too dangerous. So, he calls up his girl Rika. And when Yuta calls Rika, the whole energy changes. Rika fully manifests and immediately helps Yuta regain momentum. She refills his cursed energy, giving him a huge advantage. Now, Yuta is not just fighting with a sword and good instincts, he has Rika on the field, his copied techniques available, and enough cursed energy to turn the fight around. Yuta uses cursed speech on Uro, catching her off guard and putting pressure on her. Meanwhile, Rika is throwing hands with Ryu, and Ryu is enjoying himself. This man is getting punched by a cursed spirit queen and is basically like, finally, some good food. Yuta tries once again to challenge Uro's mindset. He tells her that living selfishly can only take her so far, but she does not want a therapy session. She refuses to listen, still trapped in resentment and the bitterness of her past. Then Ryu decides the fight needs to go even harder. And this is where everybody pulls out their domain expansion. Yuta, Uro, Ryu. All three try to open their domains at the same time. Now, in most fights, one domain expansion is already a huge deal. 2 domains clashing is even crazier. But 3 at once? That is not a fight anymore. That is a cursed energy traffic jam. The domains become unstable before they can properly form. And just when things are already complicated enough, Kurourushi comes back. Because of course it does. Turns out, Kurourushi had reproduced while dormant, and its offspring inherited its cursed energy. So now the roach problem has respawned. This is why you never trust roaches. You think the fight is over, then boom, sequel. Kurourushi's intrusion disrupts the domain clash, and the barriers collapse before any of the domains can fully activate. Because of that, the sorcerers are temporarily left unable to use their cursed techniques. Yuta immediately takes advantage of the chaos, and he targets Uro first because she is distracted by Kurourushi. And she is also at a bad matchup disadvantage against it. Uro gets overwhelmed, and Kurourushi seriously injures her arm. Ryu, meanwhile, is not interested in dragging this out with side characters anymore. He fires one massive granite blast and takes both Uro and Kurourushi out of the fight. Now, the table is clear. It is just Yuta and Ryu. and Ryu is finally getting what he wanted. The dessert. Yuta and Ryu clash with curse energy beams, and Yuta decides to indulge Ryu's hunger. Ryu has been waiting 400 years for a fight that actually satisfies him, and Yuta gives him exactly that. Their attacks collide, and Yuta loses the first beam struggle. But instead of panicking, he uses the explosion to close the gap while Rika acts as a diversion. Ryu blocks Rika's beam with one hand like an absolute madman and aims another attack at Yuta. But Yuta copies Uro's sky manipulation technique and redirects it. That is the scary thing about Yuta. You are not just fighting his power, you are fighting his ability to learn your gimmick and throw it back at you like a refund. Eventually, Yuta's connection with Rika ends, meaning his full power window is closing. But even without that, he enters one final exchange with Ryu, and for Ryu, this is it. This is the dessert he wanted. This is his tiramisu, his red velvet cake, his, I don't even know, Dairy Queen Blizzard. The dessert he wanted his whole second life. Then suddenly Ryu's own beam comes raining down on him. Yuta had redirected it earlier before Rika even disappeared, and that is what defeats Ryu. But Ryu does not complain. He does not cry about it. He does not call hacks. He is satisfied. After 400 years of hunger, Yuta finally gave him the battle he was craving. Ryu thanks him for the meal. Once the fighting is over, Yuta goes to collect points from Uro and Ryu, and Uro warns him that he is reaching his limit. She believes true, overwhelming strength comes from ruthless aggression, the kind that disregards everything like a calamity. And the person she is really referring to is Sukuna. Cause he is really him. 1,000-year-old grandpa still got these hands 1,000 years later. Basically, Uro is telling Yuta, you're strong, but you're still too nice. Ryu agrees in his own way. He doesn't praise Yuta for sparing him, but both he and Uro see mercy as pointless in this kind of world. To them, if you beat someone and leave them alive, that means you are holding back from what true strength really is. But that is also what separates Yuta from these clowns. Yuta is powerful, but he's not empty. He doesn't fight just to satisfy hunger. He doesn't kill just to prove a point. He's trying to protect people, help his friends, and survive without losing himself in the process. After their conversation, Ryu transfers his points to Yuta, and with that, Yuta reaches a total of 190 points. So, in one colony, Yuta pulls up, breaks a 4-way deadlock, defeats an ancient sorcerer, exercises a cursed cockroach nightmare, survives a battle royale, disrupts a triple domain clash, copies techniques, satisfies a 400-year-old smoke addict, and walks away with almost 200 points. Sendai thought it was a feast? Turns out, Yuta was the one eating. This episode was really crazy. I swear when this episode started, I was like, wait, why did they pour all the budget into this? I didn't even take in it was the season finale when I peeped it. Did y'all realize that? Maybe I was just asleep. But you know where I'm not asleep? Here on YouTube. You wanna watch more videos? Click right here, and till next time, subscribe.